Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Lovely to see you all again. And I hope you've had a fantastic week and looking forward to a wonderful weekend. You had Aquarius Rising Africa. We've definitely had some fun and games. You guys know that we were with one of Jesse's videos. I think that was actually last week, though. I might have mentioned it, but in case you missed that, it actually got struck, which is now on Rumble. That was the Q&A, talking a lot about the whole Switzerland stuff and stuff like that. Seems times are crazy at the moment. Switzerland. Sorry, let me just clarify that we were talking a lot about Switzerland, and gosh, I actually forget what the other thing was now. But it's on Rumble, and it was struck. So what can we say? We were obviously striking some nerves there. Anyway, but things certainly seem to be heating up on the Earth front here. Hello, Emmy. That is the Barbie Ouija board. We're going to be talking about that after the release of the Barbie movie a couple of days ago, which I have to say, guys, I don't watch these movies. I haven't been to the movies since I do not know how long. It's just something that I can't even sit through anymore. But I do read up quite a bit about it. And one of the things was that was very much up in our faces this week, especially interesting after the other movie, The Sound of Freedom. And now we have Barbie up in our faces. And of course, the tragic death of Sinead O'Connor. Anyway, but what I want to do around that, I was kind of a toss-up about what I was going to talk about today on this show. My little show, the teeny tiny one on a Friday, was whether it was going to be about Sinead O'Connor and or the Barbie thing. But I thought with Alice Parola, actually, and Alice doesn't even know this. So Alice, if you watch this, well, I think that'll be a great topic to chat about on Tuesday on Alice Parola's show, because, apparently, there was mental issues there, and we know that she's been abused by her mother, apparently, and then the church. In 1992, she was famous for ripping up the picture of the Pope and was exposing a lot of pedophilia in the Catholic Church already. Anyway, so I'm hoping to take that one further with Alice on Tuesday, and I'm sure he will. So that'll be a great topic. And if you guys have any information on that or anything we can chat about regarding that, Sinead O'Connor, let me know. You can either just let us have a comment in the comment section, send an email or something. Be glad to chat about that further, because there's a lot of stuff going on right now. Sorry, you can't even keep up anymore. Anyway, but before we get on to the Barbie thing, let's just chat about the shows that we had this past week again with Jesse, which we were talking on Wednesday about the Knights of Malta, part 2. Very, very, very interesting. Jesse's really starting to bring up some truth bombs now, as I like to call them. In the beginning, I know she used to tell Morné and myself that it was only we were only just beginning to scratch the surface. The real stuff hasn't even begun to be revealed yet. And I think everything in bite-sized chunks, because we understand we've been duped a lot, and I think we need to be prepared for these things. So therefore they come out in bite-sized chunks so that we can deal with it. I know that those of us watching this platform will really, we kind of is singing to the choir here, right? So it's not really you guys that need to understand that information, but it's always good just to have it out there and give it to those who are waking up, because it's not easy to be faced with all of the stuff suddenly, and especially, again, and I'm really so tired of the topic, but it's something that obviously is, I believe, one of the great transitioners right now is this whole transgenderism agenda that's in play. But anyway, so if you guys haven't watched Jesse's show from last week on the Knights of Malta. I really want to recommend that you watch that, because again, it's big reveals on what happens in the shadow military and in the shadow government, what they've really been hiding from us and what's really going on beneath the surface of the earth, And when we tie it all together, we can then see what's going on, but then we also at the same time know what we're dealing with, and then we can counteract that, right? And then we can take the appropriate steps to change what we need to. Anyway, before we get further, I want to just pop up the week's calendar just coming up. Great. So Sunday, we have Jesse's Patreon book club. So those of our Patreons who would like to join there, it's 3 p.m. our time, South Africa time, CAT time. Is it 4 p.m.? Okay, it's 4 p.m., sorry. 3 or 4? 3. Okay, Morné's got 4 on there. It's not 4 p.m., it's 3 p.m. So we'll change that before it goes out. So 3 p.m. On Sunday. And I think, Jesse, that'll be 9. So for our patrons, if you guys would like to join, you're more than welcome. And again, on that note, I just want to say thank you so much to all you amazing Patreons out there who support us. And really, it's a pleasure to have you guys here. And it's really wonderful that we get the support we do. It's much appreciated. Then, of course, on Monday, we've got Bryce again with the Emerald tablets. I think we're not nearing the end, but I think we're on about tablet 10 or 11 now, if I'm not mistaken. Tuesday, again, we've got Tom Althouse, and that's 1830. So it's not 1800, it's 1830 on Tuesday with Tom Althouse. We'll be chatting about, we're really looking at getting out of the hive mentality, aren't we? And I do believe Tom is one of the greatest creative geniuses on our planet right now. And I think if anyone can show us how to bring out the creative genius within ourselves, that Tom would be one such person. He's really amazing, and his heart is in the right place. So I had a show with him last week as well. So if you haven't watched that, please do. Very, very good show. Speaks a lot, is revealing a lot of stuff at the moment, as is everyone. There's a lot of people coming forward and talking about very real things at the moment, which is amazing. And then that's kind of like how we prepare ourselves and do what we need to, right? And then Wednesday, we have Jesse again on Aquarius Rising Africa. I'll be traveling the rest of the week, so I won't see you until Monday again. But then, so tune in for Jesse on Wednesday. Only single dose, guys, on Wednesday. I'm sorry. Anyway, so we were talking about this Barbie movie, and honestly, I had no idea what to expect. I knew it was some big secret with this plot being revealed, but as I always say to you guys, I just kind of watch these things from a distance. And then more and more stuff started coming to my attention on what it was. And I want to just ask Morné to pop this little thing up here about just a comment someone left on the Barbie movie. And, before I actually go further, I really want to make it very clear that I am not anti-trans or homosexuality or anything at all. This is not the place that we come from. I, of course, have my opinions, and I believe what is right for me and true, right? But I guess everyone has their own opinion. And at the moment, it really is a spiritual war. I do believe that's kind of like the war of the souls right now. And this is why these things are coming up to divide and conquer. So this is really one person's opinion on what the movie was about, which is, in a nutshell, Ken plays the role of a villain, and Barbie wants nothing to do with him. Trans Barbie Doctor is the main character that appears throughout the whole movie. Little girls smash their baby dolls and say girls don't have to be mothers anymore. Attacks the patriarchy. Barbieville is good because they removed the men and the women are now in charge. Ken also to visit Barbie's house at night, and there's a joke about that is clueless about sex, gestures towards private areas and jokes about missing parts. Two homosexual lovers admire Kim, a female Barbie role played by a cross-dressing trans male actor. Well, interesting times indeed for Barbie, right? Wow, I remember when I was a kid, Barbie was just this lovely doll that you were lucky enough to get clothes to dress her up, right? But I guess even the grooming started then because she had the perfect figure, didn't she? And when you look at a lot of these people when they go for plastic surgery, who do they want to look like? Or maybe not so much anymore. Maybe more, it's more the Kardashian look now, I think. But I'm talking more in years gone by. So it certainly is interesting times because I think that in itself, I think we need to be educated as in where the world is going right now. And I do believe each and every person deserves a voice, right? And the fact that society as a generally has shut down so many people's voices over the decades, over the years, has in itself been a problem. So, you know, when you try and shut the cupboard and you try and shut the monster in the cupboard, it doesn't mean the monster goes away. It really just grows bigger. So I think what we're really dealing with here is a lot of very, very misunderstood people. Now, do I say their choices for their bodies are wrong? Who am I to decide that? It's not right for me, but I can also understand why this is getting out of control. And now when you look at that, and obviously, you know, speaking to people like Jessie, and not just Jessie, but she would be the most obviously popular guest on our show regarding these topics, we understand this whole transgenderism thing is going towards the whole Baphomet symbolism, the idol of Satanism, right? So I do believe there's a lot of mind control involved as well. I think a lot of these kids have been programmed to again awaken at these times, like a lot of these sleeper soldiers as well. It doesn't just have to be in the military, right? It's all over. Anyway, so, but then on the other hand, I was listening to someone else's commentary on it as well. A young girl who says, well, I don't really care if you think I'm woke or not. I'm a little bit woke and I'm a little bit conservative. And I guess that's what I am too, because I do believe people have free choice. But let's not force our choice on another. That's the whole thing. Allow people to be who they choose to be, because that is truly, I think, God working in God's fullest glory. So the minute we try and suppress one, this is when we start having these problems. This is how we disempower people. This is how people have been disempowered over generations. But as I was saying, so what this young woman was saying is that it really makes one think about these issues, you know, which is what I always like to imagine is true to every situation, that whether you take the right road or the left road, it's making you think. And it's making us understand that, well, maybe the world is not just black and white. You know, there's a lot of other issues at play as well. But yes, when you're getting things like fully grown men with beards and penises going into women's, I have to say, changing rooms. I saw the funniest video clip. Apparently it's happened in Brazil. I don't even know where. I popped it up on one of my social media pages. But apparently what it says, and of course it sounds like the guy who's commentating on this video is like one of those WWF wrestler guys. And apparently this dude walked into a change room in Brazil somewhere and exposed himself. Okay, we don't know that, but that's what we're hearing. And then you see these two women haul this man out. The one is slapping him so hard, he doesn't know. I mean, he's on the floor, right? And the one's got him by the head, dragging him out. And the other one is like got him by the arm. But he is getting slapped from every angle. And of course, the WWF wrestler is commentating. Every time she slaps him, they make that sort of sound that they make the tsh. Well, I have to say, I mean, I could not stop laughing. I thought to myself, that would be me. Not a shadow of doubt. If somebody did that and anyone, women, children, old ladies, anything felt threatened in a public bathroom with some dude coming in there and exposing himself, I want to tell you, I would definitely do that. I would definitely be the one bitch slapping him in every direction. I'm not even gonna lie and pretend I'm gonna be a lady about it. I won't. I just don't want to see myself on video. That's all. Anyway, but further beyond that, um, now when you go checking the Barbie store and what have you, there's an array of earrings, for example, with all like they're very obsessed with death, like little pink hearses, earrings with pink hearses, ghost houses, stuff like that. So there's quite a dark connotation that goes with it. And then as well, which is obviously to me the most disturbing, which is when you see they're now encouraging Ouija boards for kids. There you go. So you can now order a Ken Ouija board and a Barbie Ouija board. And I want to tell you, not just Ken and Barbie, because when you're looking at this, when you're actually going on, well, I'm sure Google will have it. This was on DuckDuckGo. There's a whole lot of other fancy little Ouija boards that the kids can buy that are really for kids. And it's quite frightening because for me, when you're looking at the narrative they're pushing in the Barbie, there you go. When they you know the narrative they're pushing in the Barbie movie, and we understand the whole transgenderism thing and what's driving it, which doesn't mean that every single person who is transgender is of the satanic cult. Please, I'm not suggesting that. But what I am suggesting is this whole narrative so being pushed in our faces, and then we're looking at the Barbie movie, and now we're seeing behind the scenes, or really maybe not so much behind the scenes, what they're encouraging our children to do. Now, honestly, I was brought up in a family. My grandmother was a clairvoyant psychic, so none of these things are new to me or even strange. It's part of my heritage. But I want to say that this is not good, in my opinion. And I want to caution people around this, because again, we're seeing such a big cutesy, it's all pink and girly and really gets the kids' attention, doesn't it? And when it gets the kids' attention, you see, anyone who does marketing, anyone who's been in advertising or marketing, and you want to get the parents to buy something, you've got to get them through the kids, right? Parents will often, just to keep the kids satisfied, especially in this narcissistic society that we've been creating for ourselves over the last several decades, right? It's easier to just give them something and to keep them quiet rather than engage. So that's what's been happening more and more. And this, in my opinion, is what's happening here. And I know I had to say this to my granddaughter, who wanted to go and see the movie as well. And I said, sorry to be the bearer. I just said to her mom the information saying, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but this does not come with my blessing. Not that you've got to do what my blessing or not is, but when we're looking at these things, I think we really, really need to be cautious, because they are targeting our kids. And if we can look how they're doing it, they're taking a kid's toy. Mattel has been around since forever, right? They're taking a kid's toy. They're now creating this fantasy adult world for girls, where the patriarchy is now under attack. We don't need men. Why do we need men? You've made us suffer. You've hurt us. Now, just think about a little group of girls who've all gone to see Barbie on the weekend, right? Now, we know as girls, right? I'm sorry. Let's not even think girls can't be little bitches, right? They're the worst of the worst. So just think of a little group of girls, can be, who've all gone to see Barbie on the weekend and suddenly coming to school deciding boys are crap and all got their Barbie dolls and whacking the boys on the head. I mean, seriously, what are we doing? How do we think that's even okay? Because now, you know, with the whole transgenderism thing, we're looking at women being under attack, right, from the males. But really, look at what's happening at the same time. So men are under attack from the females. So now what do? We've got to bring the two together and just create one body, because that's going to solve all the problems, right? We just girl and boy and boy and girl and everything you choose to be, all in just one body. And I think that is quite a dangerous place for us to be. So we've got to, like, I don't know. Again, I always say in our communities, we've got to do stuff. Yeah, I'm just looking at some of the comments here, guys. Sorry, I can't really see them while I'm chatting. So I'm going to just look at them. Yeah, cult family love. Yeah, the cult, exactly. All cult, all with the kids. I'm sorry, Remy. Wow. Kidnapped as a kid. Was Ken there? I don't know. What do you mean, was Ken there, Danielle? Ken's in the movie, yes. And if that's what you're asking me. And Ken, you can get a Ken Ouija board as well. So you can get one for a boy and one for a girl. And a whole lot of other cutesy ones as well. And really working with kids on this level. And again, you know, I'm not, you know, it's such a thin line, this, that we deal with here. You know, what do we teach our kids when it comes to spiritual values? I think every parent has that right, but now we know those rights are quickly being taken away. But at the end of the day, we really have to remind our kids that God lives within all of us. We are created in the image of God. And however we are born is what we should appreciate ourselves to be, and that we can really actually grow through each and every experience and learn through that experience and be humble through every experience in life, you know, and understand. I mean, I look at some of these kids, and I don't even know, men, women, whatever they are, saying this crazy stuff on the internet. And it's such hurt people that have never had a voice. That's what I see. Such hurt people. And does that make it my fault? Well, we have our opinions on that. I think globally we are all responsible for each other on some level. And to judge another that harshly is really not good for us as a species in a unified way. We all belong to God. That's the thing we must remember, in my opinion. Oh, thank you, Ellen. You're so lovely. Thank you. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, South Africa's okay. You know, I know we get a lot of bad press a lot of the times in terms of our safety, and it also depends where you live. I'm not going to lie. If you're going to be living in the big cities and in the more areas that are more poverty struck, definitely, you're much more open to violation then. And it doesn't mean you're not like that anywhere else. You know, I'll tell you, all of South Africans live behind alarms, tall walls, and locked gates. That's for sure. But it doesn't mean no one gets in. But yeah, we kind of, that's how we live here. We still love each other. Anyway, so Simone de Beauvoir. No, I didn't know that actually. Yeah, I know that she was a big one in feminism. How interesting is that? And again, that would make me think, you know, when we're looking at the feminist movement, because, yeah, I'm looking what you're saying, Emmy, that Simone de Beauvoir was a pedophile, but she was also the mother of feminism. And at the same time, we understand how the feminist movement began was in the 60s with the Rockefellers, right? When they told women to burn their bras and do whatever and go to work and all that stuff, really. And that was the first step in separating the family unit, so they could then therefore get control over the kids in the schooling. Now our kids are like 3 and they've got to go to school. I mean, can you believe it? I couldn't imagine that. So they're already educated according to a system as early as they can get them. But wow, so yeah, the feminist movement. So it makes me think again, that they would have probably set that up as well. That would have been part of the system, the feminist movement. Crazy. And again, that doesn't mean that everyone is that way. I mean, I know some very, very cool gay people all over, and none of them feel this way, I can tell you that. Anyway, guys, thank you so much, Danielle, Emmy, Remy, all the way up. Thank you so much for popping in to say hi with me. Guys, check it out. You've seen my load shedding mug. I paid an obscene amount of money for this mug yesterday. I can't even believe, I won't even tell you how much money I paid for this mug. But it is almost a liter. It's double flask, and it's got a straw. And you know my tea stays hot for 2 hours now. So I just thought I'd share that with you. I found the remedy to my load shedding blues. Very excited. Anyway, take it easy, guys. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful weekend. And yeah, keep the faith. Let's do what we need to just to keep moving forward and just shining our light and doing what we can to assist each other and just help each other, love each other. That's all. We just created from love. Thank you so much. God bless you all, and take good care of yourself. Cherry vibes.